Hello, everybody. This is AL Thick Madame. Let me get my lips and my hands and everything else right because, oh my gosh, y'all know why I'm here. And you should be able to tell by the way I'm looking. This episode has hold my nerve down. I'm real tired in my spirit. This is just the first episode of what OWN has decided to do to us avid watchers of the show. And I guess because Y'all Wanna Fix My Life is gone for now, they have it where they have two brand new family or fiancés come on back to back. And I don't know if I can do this, especially if it's gonna be like this. I'm really tired in my spirit. So, let me bundle back up in my comfort blanket. Y'all, so when I say I'm tired. Okay, so let me try to get started. So, this episode is surrounding the couple, Amber and Justin. They have been together for quite some time, I think like 8 years. They got engaged maybe like almost a year ago, and they met at a bar. Okay, cool. Instantly, even before I've watched the whole episode, y'all, I'm telling y'all, I was so tempted last night when I first started watching it. 5 minutes in, like whenever the first commercial came on, y'all, I was about to get on here and be like, y'all, I don't know if I could do this. I'm real tired in my spirit already. It ain't been like 5 to 10 minutes. Like already, just 5 to 10 minutes in and it's doing too much. Oh, okay. So anyway, he's a clown. He is whack. This is my initial perception of him, and I could be completely wrong, but so far, whenever I've had these impressions starting off about the person or the situation ain't gonna work, it ended up being exactly what I said it was. But as of right now, he seems like a class clown. Everything is a joke. Nothing is ever serious. I understand there are people who are funny, and they know when there is a time to be funny and a time to be serious, but he does not seem to know the difference. That's my impression, and I'm tired already. Okay, so within the next 3 days, they got to figure out what's going to really pop off, because I think her family already knows him and they don't like him. What little bit they do know about him. I think his family knows her and they like her or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, y'all, I'm real tired. Her father passed away recently, or recent enough. So that's something that we need to take into consideration as well. And they had been married for 30-something years. So, you would think she had a great upbringing from what we've been told. She was a daddy's girl. Y'all, I'm trying to gather myself because it was too much. Okay, so let me try to get back on track. So, y'all, if I already didn't get a negative impression of him just from the little mini car ride, y'all tell me why he went and got a ring and proposed to her, but the agreement is she is not allowed to speak at all while he's watching his sports, and she is not allowed to go through his things, meaning his phone and all that stuff. Can't look over and see who he's talking to. Can't do like all of this stuff are requirements, or he will delay them getting married. And I'm just like, why are these requirements that she can't even say, hey, bye, nothing, while you watching the game and all this other stuff? You know what I'm saying? I understand you not wanting somebody to snoop through your stuff, but for you to even bring that up as an obligation in order for y'all to move forward with an engagement, that's an issue for me. You already got to be doing something for you to just be like, yeah, so in order for me to be with you, you're going to have to do this. you're gonna have to not go through my phone because you know it ain't your business who I'm talking to and all that. It's just like, why you gotta say all that? You're doing something. I don't care what you think you might be trying to evade by saying all this, but you really are giving yourself up. You are doing something you ain't got no business. Already off rip and I don't even know you. So anyway, y'all, I just really cannot. So you can already tell her brother is not here for him at all, and he don't even know the half of what's going on with this situation. And he was just like, look, my sister has a golden heart, but for some reason, all these lame dudes, all these whack dudes, all these troublemaker dudes are the ones that gravitate towards her. And it's just something about them. They just live for her, and she just ends up getting set up for failure because she just continues to date these whack dudes. And they are complete opposites. He's a country boy. He likes to go camping, all the other good stuff. She likes to just be in the house and watching reality TV and all that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but I mean, I'm just like, okay, all right. So Tracy McMillan, the relationship expert, she told them that the tasks are that she has to do the 20 questions with his family, friends, or whoever are gonna come, and he has to do a 5-year plan with her family. And already her sister was just like, you know, from the little bit that I've already seen when I've been around him, he already comes off as childish, flirtatious, and all this. And she said that, you know, she just does not see it for them. So her people arrived, and it was a slight greeting, and then it was just instantly like the tension. The tension was so thick, and I was just like, alrighty then. So anyway, Amber was talking to her family, and then at one point in time, her brother tried to talk to her, and her back was completely turned to him, and she was looking in the kitchen at her man randomly making pancakes and bacon and such, and he really was trying to talk to her, and her attention was just diverted for no reason. I mean, he wasn't even talking to her. The boyfriend, the fiance, wasn't even talking to her. I was just like, what is going on? Then she proceeded to get up and walk off. So I was just like, what is going on? I was just tired, y'all. I just did not understand what was going on. I was just like, okay, this is just not, this is just not for the work. So anyway, y'all, she done sat up here, got engaged to this dude. There was never an announcement. She never sat up here and said, hey, y'all, I got married. Her sister didn't know. Her mama barely knew anything. They said they basically found out on social media with everybody else. And the way that she reacted was not typical of someone who is genuinely happy about being engaged. And so she was just like, I don't understand. You know, the way her personality usually is, you would think that she would be happy about that. Any woman would be happy. But she was just like, you know, they never saw the ring or anything. And I'm just like, what in the world? Like, this is really, really, really crazy to me. Her brother is concerned, and you know, he's a minister, and he was just saying that, again, like he said before, he always saw her, and every time you look up, troublemakers are the ones that gravitate to her. So anyway, her mother said as well that she has a lot of concerns, and her brother was just like, look, she used to be really, really open and honest with us, and you know, we don't want things to change, and they feel like he's changing her for the worst. So anyway, his people showed up. His aunt, I love his aunt's personality. She seems so nice and sweet and just easy to talk to. Y'all, side note, his sandals gotta go. Justin, his sandals. I was just like, what is going on? Oh, I was just like, I can't try to criticize the way he dressed, but it just, them sandals, I was just like, why? Get out of here with these sandals. Okay, I digress. I'm sorry I had to. Sandals was killing me. So anyway, so his brother, Cortland, he, you know, they had the little meeting and all that. And so they were like, you know, what are y'all's concerns? So his brother said, you know, I'm concerned about y'all's arguments, and they should be very, very small and over, and y'all move on to the next, you know, thing in life. But they are really, 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 really big. And then the confessional came up. Apparently, the brother said that his brother don't know that he know that their arguments are way worse than what they should be, and that he be doing little things he ain't got no business. Like, I'm gonna get to that later on, y'all. It's just a lot. So her sister is concerned with his immaturity, and he just has this demeanor. He just, everything is a joke, and it's just so annoying. Y'all, this dude is so annoying. I just cannot do it. I don't understand what she see in him. He literally jokes all day, every day. And it's just like, okay, are you getting a check for this? Because this is really too much. Like, this is beyond annoying. You just joke all day. Nothing is ever serious. Nothing. I would have thought it was a joke if he had proposed to me. And I'm just like, what? Why did you think that was serious? All he do is joke all day. Y'all, I was so tired. So anyway, her sister was just like, look, I don't think he's husband material. And, you know, like I said before, she wasn't excited or did anything that any normal woman would do when she got engaged. So her brother is like this. His perspective is, I am the last man standing. Our father passed away, and I feel like you should have came to me, you know, when you felt that you was going to propose to her. And so he was just like, you know, well, she never went to my mama for my hand in marriage. And so his mama, their mother, interjected and was like, well, that's not how this goes. You know, you ain't even say nothing to me about none of this. So it got to the point where he apologized to her for not asking. And, you know, she was just like, look, I've been married to my husband for over 30 some years till he passed away. And I was just like, Lord have mercy. So anyway, his sister came through in the clutch, was just like, yeah, so I don't think this gonna work because I don't think my brother is being honest. And so turns out that he sat up here and introduced her to a whole nother woman when they was together and all this. And so of course she didn't know nothing about it. And he was just like, y'all, he was just like, ugh. Like, he just did he was just like, oh, you being a snitch. He's like, oh, you're a snitch. Even when he would say snitch and all this other stuff, he was being so comical. And it was just like, when are you gonna be serious? Like, I don't get it. Like, y'all, he is so annoying. I don't see how anybody ever wanted to be with him. He is so annoying. So anyway, he was just like, look, I ain't got time for y'all being a snitch. I just want y'all, we just need y'all blessing. That's it. We just want y'all blessing. So anyway, his aunt, you know, like I said, she has a really bubbly personality. She is everything, but she ain't here for it. And at this point, Amber thinks that he is being unfaithful, as she should. So anyway, they ended up discussing their tasks. So they told her what the tasks were. And before they set out to do those things, Amber pulled him to the side. They went outside to talk. And so she was just like, you know, I'm upset by what your sister said. Is there any truth to it? You know, who was this woman? And so he was like, yeah, it was this woman that I met. She's into sports. And we talk from time to time. And he kind of hinted at the fact that they were together. So she was like, y'all were together? He was like, no. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So anyway, he was just like, you know, yeah, it happened. We done moved past it by. I mean, it's like he said that it was over. We're moving past that. No, this situation was just unfolded less than 5 minutes ago. You can't tell her the situation is over. We done with it. Now we finna move on. Bye. Like, what is you talking about? Y'all, I cannot, he irks my soul. I cannot do it. So anyway, he was done with the conversation. So he went on by his business and went and found his aunt and sister, thinking that it was just gonna be all puppies and rainbows. And they proceeded to just be like, you know, what happened on the inside? The aunt was confused because she didn't know anything about all this. Because like I said, he introduced the sisters to some random woman. So he was like, well, what you talking about? And so she was like, did you cheat on her? So he was like, yeah. she is going, you know, accept my apology, and hopefully she'll accept my apology, whatever. Like, everything that he said, it was just so nonchalant and had a smile on his face. And I just want to slap the smile off his face. And I was just like, oh my God. Y'all, so anyway, Amber is so hurt that she hasn't even started her task. She's in like the kitchen or somewhere looking out the window at him talk to his relatives. And then her mama walks in. So she's talking to her mama and she was like, you don't seem like yourself. You don't seem happy and all this. How are you feeling? And of course she told her how she felt. And then she was just like, at this point, I cannot give you my blessing. I'm not giving it to you. So anyway, the nighttime happened, nighttime fell, and her family were outside waiting on Justin so that they can discuss the 5-year plan, which was his task. Meanwhile, his people were on the inside about to get started with 20 questions with her. So before Justin walked up, her mama was just like, look, I ain't here for it, and I don't think it's gonna work out. Something ain't right. I feel like he over here doing her wrong. I ain't got time for that. Like, everybody was just like, why are we sitting here discussing a 5-year plan when I don't see them together? I don't want them together. I was just like, Lord, that's what I'm talking about. Like, this is not finna go down not on my watch. No. Y'all, so anyway, the main things that were asked of him, they asked about his finances and if he's ready to have kids, and if they were to have kids, how would he react? So he was like, oh, I make good money. And so they looking like, okay, that ain't really what we asked you. And so they asked about kids, and he was like, well, I guess I'd be ready to have kids in like 5 years. And then said something about, you know, if a baby come, it come. It's like, if you don't wear no condom and then a baby come out of it, oh, well, it just happened. I'm just like, look, why? Why you so nonchalant, sir? Just talking any old kind of way to her family. Like, he was just so, I just cannot. And so it just got to the point where her mom was just like, look, I know you're a cheater. All you're doing is fidgeting. Every time we try to ask you anything, they eventually held up where somebody wrote down monogamy and asked him, what does he think about that? He was like, I don't think nothing of it. It's like, what you mean you don't think nothing of monogamy? He was just like, if a one-night stand happened, everybody looking like, what you mean? Like, oh my God, y'all, I'm so tired. So anyway, y'all, it got to the point where, like I said, they were inside doing 20 questions with her. And, you know, they asked her, did she feel like she was ready to get married? And she kind of was hesitant, especially what happened earlier, as anybody should be. And so, you know, she basically was like, you know, I love him. And I'm just like, girl. And apparently a situation happened, and people don't believe the story that was given. And her aunt, well, his aunt flat out asked, you know, you hurt your arm, you broke your arm, how that happened. So she tried to say something. She gave some kind of lie. And they were like, oh, okay, we wanted to make sure you were all right because we thought it was something else. I ain't got time. So anyway, her family in turn were asking him, even though everybody was in 2 completely different places, they asked him, would you physically harm her? Have you physically harmed her? And he was just like, why would I hit her? I wouldn't hit her in the face. That's what makes the money. And I was just like, what? What you talking about? Who said? Y'all, I'm sorry. I don't care if I was a minister, pastor. Nah, I would have slammed him across that table. Like, he just, So anyway, everything is over. Her brother took her to the side and they went to like this little sitting room and were discussing what happened with the 5-year plan, everything he said. So she was kind of confused because she was like, well, we've discussed his 5-year plan before, so I don't understand why he really didn't have any answers for y'all. So then that conversation was basically over before it started, so they left and went to rejoin everybody. Okay. Y'all, it was just to the point where she ended up taking him off to the side. And this is where I really got tired in my spirit. If I wasn't tired before, I was all the way done. Y'all, I was like, I need a drink. I need something to take the edge off because this episode is tearing my nerves down. I ain't got time for this. So end up taking her to the side. Tried to talk to him and was like, you know, are you being nice and respectful to my family? He was like, yeah, I'm always nice. So they went on, they walking. And so, tried to talk to him, and he was just like, look, what you need to do is tell them that you were happy. And, if you messing with me, then you messing with me. And so she was like, I just want you to be honest. And so he was like, what do you think I am? So she just walked off. I was just like, what in the world? Like, y'all, oh my gosh. He just has all of the signs of a classic abusive, narcissistic, irresponsible, ignorant, he's just so raggedy, y'all. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I was just like, oh my gosh, my nerves. It just tearing my nerves up this whole episode, y'all. So anyway, y'all, both of the brothers, his brother and her brother, met up in this room and they were talking. So, they was like, her brother was like, I feel like a light is off. I don't know what it is, whatever. Cortland, his brother, told him what he has personally witnessed, which is his brother will think he's asleep when he's not. And they'll be arguing. And the arguments are really, really bad. He overheard how he has brought back STDs to her. He has multiple phones, which means he's hiding stuff. He ain't nobody to need 2, 3, 4 phones. He ain't nobody unless he a plug, I guess. But I'm pretty sure it was for all these other relationships. She has actually walked in on him having relations with multiple people, and or whether it was one woman or 2 or 3 of them at the same time. She done pulled up on him at a club here and there. Whenever she was looking for him, she would pull up at these clubs to find him and try to drag him out. They would argue about something and he wouldn't show up back at the house for 2, 3 days here because he'll be mad that she mad. And it's like, how you mad that she mad at you because you being dumb? Why? You ain't got a right. You don't have the first right to be mad that she mad at you because you being dumb out here in these streets. You over here, it's already bad enough you out here bringing STDs back to her. You're being unfaithful. She already know you being unfaithful. You apparently are abusing her verbally, mentally, emotionally, physically, all the above. Like, I am just so exhausted. She should have been exhausted years ago. I don't understand. And, it was just, and then the last thing he said was that he hemmed her up against the wall. And he said he looked around the corner and saw all this stuff. So that's why he knows that her story about her arm being broken is a lie. So apparently what happened, he was in a little confessional. His brother said that what happened was one day he didn't come home, or he came home late. Justin came home late and she confronted him, stayed up and confronted him. They got to arguing. She wouldn't let him pass or something like that. So he shoved her out of the way into a wall or something. And then that's how her arm got broken. Y'all, this girl is like bony. She's really, really small. I'm not trying to read her now. I'm just saying she is really, really small. So if you haven't seen the episode, you need to understand this woman is already small already. So he over here shoving and doing the most. Some of that will come into effect later on when I tell you what he did in a few minutes. So anyway, the plan is they are going to call a family meeting the following day, which I guess is going to be the last day, to bring it up and see, or at least see if she's going to bring it up, give her a chance to bring it up. Y'all, so the next day happened. They having a family meeting. Her brother and his brother, they holding the family meeting. They're like, yeah, we all supposed to be here to help figure out what we gonna do about y'all getting married, if y'all gonna get a blessing to get married, but we think some more pressing things need to be discussed. And I'm just looking like, Lord have mercy. So her brother kept giving her opportunities to open up and discuss what might be going on without really saying, hey, is he over here beating you? Hey, is he over here having sex with all these other women and cheating on you, and you know about it, and you popping up on him and you doing all this and doing all that. So he just, kept opening the door for her, extending an invitation for her to just be honest about what has been going on in their relationship. And she still was tiptoeing around the issue. So her brother, was like, I heard some things that I'm not happy about. And, basically said everything that was discussed the night prior. Y'all, Justin's sister got into it with Amber's brother, and almost everybody but the two of them were arguing, and I was like, oh my gosh, y'all, it was so bad. Her mama set it off, was like, look, I ain't got time for this. Everybody in this room is grown. You should be able to talk to each other in a way that can get your point across without having to slam somebody and jump across the table. And so she was just like, you know what, I'm out. So she got up and walked out. As soon as her mama walked out, Amber is, trying to talk to him and was just like, why can't you just be honest? Whatever. Let's just be honest. Let's just be open and honest. She really is talking to him in a calm manner. She ain't coming at him sideways. She ain't doing nothing to provoke him. All of a sudden, he snatches, he shoos her away, slings her off of him. I was like, oh my gosh. I rewound that thing like 4-5 times on the DVR. I was like, what is going on, sir? Like, he slung her something terrible. I was like, oh my gosh. And I mean, she really was talking to him in a calm demeanor. So I was just like, why are you so upset to the point this is what he said, y'all. I make sure I say exactly what he said, because I wrote that down just to make sure. He said, he slung her off of him, and he said, get the F off me, man. Like, he was like, get the F off me, man. Like, he really did the most. I mean, he slung her hard too. Her arm was flying. I'm surprised her arm didn't get dislocated then, her shoulder. Like, he really put some power behind it, y'all. Oh, Lord, not long after that, Jesus, I was just like, Lord. So he ended up storming off. And while he was walking out of the room, he was like, he said something about how, he was like, if I was to hit y'all in the face with this pool stick, y'all be mad. And then him and his brother were off by themselves. He done shoved his brother. And I'm just like, why are you mad at everybody but yourself? Because you the trash right now. You the raggedy person doing all this stuff. You are the one. You are the trash. It's you. You are the problem. And I mean, he really was in here setting it off. I was like, Jesus, please. Y'all, so it got to the point where he went back in the room. And so Amber was like, let's just be honest about everything. And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He literally stood up there and started playing pool by himself. Sir, who told you that it was the time to play pool? He really sat up there and started playing pool by himself. And I was just like, what in the world, y'all? I am so tired. I was just so tired in my spirit. And I mean, he was laughing and joking the whole time, and like nothing is ever serious. Y'all, it got so bad that I guess Terry McMillan might have had a camera in the back, or some of the producers told her like, yeah, this situation is some foolishness. You need to come out here and get them. So she came out there and she ended up pulling them and having a little meeting with them. Was like, what's been going on? And so, he tried to play it off like ain't nothing going on. Everything been going good, just here trying to get their blessing. And so, Amber said, I've been seeing some things that I don't like, and it's not what I thought it was. And, she was like, if you have to be you need to be 100% with yourself. And so she asked him, if there are any issues, what issues do you think there are, or whatever. And he says, I'm being 100% with myself. I think everything is amazing, basically. Y'all, it was got to the point where, I mean, she was expressing herself. She was finally being honest. And he sat up there, started yawning when Tracy McMillan was talking. And he just sat up here. He just sprawled out on the couch. He done prepped his pillow. And he leaned out to the side like this. And she's still sitting up, engaged in conversation with Tracy. And I was just like, Lord. It just got to the point where she was just like, I see now that he is not the person for me. And so he's just looking like, wow. What do you mean, wow? Like, he really was just sitting up there and he started laughing. And I was just like, what? Like, y'all, I was so tired. Like, she really was just like, I just cannot move forward with him. And, y'all, that situation is over. So what happened was they ended up letting us know that her family refused to continue filming after that. And they actually showed footage of the brother high-stepping it up out the door with his bags. And she was kind of behind him, and she kind of like pushed the camera out of the way. Y'all, They ended up showing footage also of Justin and his family on the way home, I guess. And both of them, the brothers, they were arguing with one another. It almost came to blows. I think the brother, Cortland, got out of they stopped the truck. He got out there. He slammed the door. He was mad. Y'all, I was just like, Lord, this is too much, Jesus. He still denies doing anything. Y'all, I just cannot do it. Like, he is so trash, Jesus. I'm so glad that they came on this show because this don't make no sense at all. This episode tore my nerves down so bad. I was like, I got to do the review on this before I forget what all was going on outside of the little stuff that I wrote down that I wanted to make sure I pointed out, like them dang sandals he had on looking like a mess and a half. The only thing I can say positive about him in that is that his teeth look decent. Like, that's about all I can say. I'm just saying, that's really about all I can say about him because he's trash. So anyway, y'all need to go watch that episode so y'all nerves can be towed down like mine, because I was tired of my spirit. Tore my nerves down. I had to turn that off midway. I was like, I can't do this. I gotta go to bed. I gotta do something that ain't watching this. It was too much, y'all. So anyway, I'll be back a little bit later for the next one. Hopefully that's a little bit better because I'm real tired. Bye.